Hello, everybody. Today, I thought we'd introduce Edpuzzle's amazing Super Manny.
Yeah.
Uh, uh, and Manny is an awesome trainer. If anybody's ever seen anything about Edpuzzle, you've probably seen his gorgeous mug. It's always out there. He's posting, he's social, and he's the man with a plan. So today, we're going to talk to him and see what he has to say about Edpuzzle. Well, welcome, Annie.
Hey, well, thank you for having me. Yeah. Somehow Superman is stick to my name.
That's all right. I
Like,
like it.
why
I
not?
like it.
Why not?
So I thought we could get started by getting to know you a little bit. Can you tell us a little bit about your background, how you get started with Edpuzzle?
Yeah, so I'm originally from Guadalajara. I came to this country not knowing any English. And when I came to the US, I did university, level because I finished high school in Mexico. And I was struggling a lot as a student. I'm like, oh my gosh, this teacher speaks so fast. And I just didn't know how to keep up with it. And this whole group, OMG, oh my gosh, it needs to stop. So when I became a teacher, I did that because I didn't know any other way. And then my principal said, you need to be on Twitter. You need to tweet everything about your classroom. I should not go into your classroom to see what you're doing. And then on Twitter, someone said, I am an Edpuzzle coach. I'm like, what in the world is Edpuzzle? So I Googled it. And then, I found all these videos like, this is so cool. And I really got into it. And other teachers says like, yeah, you can record yourself. And that just opened up like a world of opportunities. And then I found a better way to teach. It's like I should be able to record my lessons to give my students the ability to pause. Because when I was a student, I didn't have that. I can pause and rewind. And like, what did he say? Usually, when you don't speak the language, there's lots and lots of words that you don't understand. So the ability to pause and find out or ask or listen to it again and again and again, I'm like, oh, that's what it is. Because I was craving that. So I was able to give that to my students. And it was a lot better. I was able to introduce topics before the actual mini lesson that I will have with them on my table. I started using Edpuzzle to sift my students into small groups, and it will tell me the data says black and white, who got it and who didn't get it. It was an eye opener. It was just like the best thing ever.
That is really cool. That is really cool. Yeah, there's so many different ways to approach education and learning, and hearing from somebody who obviously English was not your first language and you had to pick it up and what worked for you and what didn't. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I have a student very similar who is a younger student, but during class, his mom bought him a translator app, like Google Translate or something. But so he stops every once in a while and he pauses and he checks something out and then he comes back to me and he with some questions about that. So always relevant to the topic of the class, but it's awesome that they can utilize technology in addition to whatever we're teaching as teachers.
Yeah, I mean, I think it puts you in a different mood on learning when you have the option to pause, do some research, or ask someone else, hey, what does this mean? It just you feel safe and you feel like, okay, I can do this because when the teacher is talking in front of the class, it's a one-time thing. And if you lost it, so sorry for you.
Yes.
If you want to go to the restroom, if you're thinking about like, OMG, I'm hungry, or my family is going through something and now my mind is not there. So sorry for you. You already lost all this content.
Yes,
So
definitely.
it just puts you in a different mood. It's like, okay, I can do this because if I need to take a break, I'm going to pause this video and come back to whenever I'm ready.
Yeah.
Yeah, the student is really taking ownership of what they want to learn, and they discover their own learning, which that's super important. So it's designing those video lessons, because in the beginning I was giving them everything, and then I realized, oh, I'm going to let them figure it out just by giving them clues. And then if they didn't figure it out, Edpuzzle will tell me in the analytics, and then they'll meet with me. So all of my mini lessons were different, obviously, because it was based on the grade, or the based on the analytics that Edpuzzle will give me, and that's how I would group them. And every day was a different lesson. So my groups were different. There was no more this is my A readers, the B readers. because it's not based on that. And then even if it's if you separate your kids by test results, that test is like 2 weeks old. That's not relevant anymore. So it was great. My kids say, I really put an effort on this lesson, and you can see it. So I was pulling struggling students with my non-struggling students, and they felt validated. And in the same way, a student that thinks they know everything, I'm like, honey, no, you don't know everything. You really need to pay attention. So it was like a reality check that I didn't have to do, because it's like the feedback is automatic. It tells you you're wrong.
You're wrong. Oh boy. Yeah.
So
Well,
pay attention.
yeah, pay attention. So now you seem very outgoing, very creative. Has this always been the case? Have you always been a creative person?
Well, not in my first years of teaching. No, I was like learning the content, learning how to manage my classroom, because OMG. So the first years, not really, but Twitter really changed everything, because it gives you an opportunity to get inspiration from people all over the world. You don't have to be friends with anybody, so you can just stalk people if you want, but you're gonna find a really inspirational tweet, and you can always just like, hey, how do you do this? People share all the things with you, and you find like-minded people just by searching or following people that you find, interesting. There's no nonsense. Like, only look for educational stuff. Everything else, don't even look at it. Don't click on anything. And the
Don't go down
algorithm
that
already
rabbit hole.
knows. Oh, you're serious, honey. Let me just show you some educational stuff. And that, it is the best PD you can ever find. And it's free, and it's catered to you. So that made me think of other ways to reach my students by getting inspiration from other teachers, because that's what teachers do. Like, we don't own everything. Like, we borrow ideas, and then we twist them in a way that will fit our classroom, because every classroom is different, and you will have kids that are different, from period to period, or from year to year, and you just have to adapt to their needs. So
that's awesome. So then, what would you say are your teaching specialties, age-wise, topic-wise?
So I taught first, second, and third. I did first grade first. Then they put me to third, not by choice. But I loved it, because I had them in first grade, and I'm like, I'm sorry, what do you mean you don't know? I taught you that. So it was great. But for me, the best is second grade. I love second grade. Then I left the classroom to go into the EdTech department of my school district. And then I was supporting secondary teachers. So middle school and high school, all the teachers that teach world language, which was German, Spanish, French, sign language, all of those teachers. So I had experience with older students and little students. I like the littles better. I think even the teachers are more willing to try new things, and they're not afraid of looking ridiculous about recording their own videos and things like that. I think secondary teachers are more serious in a way, and whenever they see me, I'm like, look, honey, you're not gonna look as ridiculous as I am. Just record your videos. And they started doing it, but you can see that there's shyness just because the kids are older.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm a child. I will be on the floor with the kids. I will do the little funny dances.
Oh, yeah.
With them. I will do the going to all the things I will do with the kids.
I get it. I'm the same way. My wife says I'm the second child in the family. She doesn't need a third.
Yep. Same. But it just, I think they just need to see that someone else is doing it, because I saw it time and time again. Like, once one secondary teacher started doing it, everybody else was following. Because I'm like, it does not need to be a Hollywood production. It is for your students, and you're going to be supporting your students with these videos. That's why I always encourage them. Record your videos. You talk to the camera. You talk to your students. The students want to hear from you, your sense of humor, the connection that they have with you. They want to learn from you. Because what's a video that somebody else made? There's not that connection. There's not that personal, me talking to you, and it just doesn't feel the same.
Yeah, I get that completely.
Yeah.
So For those that are of the viewers that are not familiar with Edpuzzle, can you kind of give them a rundown of what it is and how you see online educators
Yes,
using it? Yeah.
I have a few. I am not a slides person, but I have a few slides for you. All right, so
Woohoo!
let me move this here. I start with like this is Super Manny, Hot Mess Express. I'm the global community person. I just talk to a lot of teachers globally. That's just what I do. But it's the why do you do what you do? Why videos are important, right? Like
Yes.
just we already explained that, which was supporting your kids 100% of the time, 24/7 to be available to them, right? And be able to go back. That's why we do it. Because teachers, when they don't know how to do something, they go to YouTube to find a video. And it better be a short video because I don't want to know about the teacher, the person's name, or I don't want to subscribe. I just want to know how to do X, Y, and Z, right? And this is also why you do it. Because you have different types of kids in your classroom. Your kids that are really, really smart and they already know how to do things, they're going to be bored. The kids are struggling, they are going to also be bored because they are completely, all over the place. Or maybe kids are not ready to learn. So there's a lot of different types of kids with different situations that the teachers have in one room. And what does a teacher does? They stress. So that's animation is usually the teacher at the end of the day because they are exhausted by trying to juggle through the different types of kids and to meet their needs, right?
Right.
I see that. I'm like, yep, that was me trying to entertain my kids with educational topics, but it was me doing all the work, right? So you just have to do some video lessons. Like Edpuzzle is the one who's going to sift them for you. They're going to go through an introductory lesson. You can use YouTube if you want. This is why video is important because people go, there's tons of videos that get uploaded all the time. When I saw this, I'm like, really? Music videos are still number one? I thought like MTV doesn't even show videos anymore. But video lessons are a thing in tutorial videos as well. That's why the memes and the viral videos are starting to be educational because they're very, very short. But videos is really the way to go because you get to see exactly how. You get to hear the teacher or whoever is explaining it. It takes care of all the way kids learn, all the four ways. Like if I'm a visual, I need to read it, I need to see it. It takes care of all of those modules for you. So once you have those videos, instead of just having them watch a random video, you put them into Edpuzzle. So you can see that Edpuzzle will track who watched it, who didn't watch it, for how long, and if they have any feedback on those questions. So it's not just giving them a video because you don't know if they watched it or not,
Right.
and if they
Right.
learn anything, right? So you want to put them into Edpuzzle. So at the end of the day, your students will be the one who are tired and not you. Because you're putting them to work, right? So this is one way, this is an example that I always use with teachers. You want to give them the personalized standard practice, which will be you. You are the most important part of the day. No one will ever replace the teacher, but Edpuzzle can be your digital co-teacher to support you when you are busy with your small groups, right? So this is how we divide it. It's the I do, you do, and then you do again. So first, I do all the lessons, right? I show you everything. And then I'm going to scaffold a little bit. I do a little bit of it, and then you do something else, and then I show you something else, and then you do something else. And then eventually, in the last section is you do everything. So eventually, I am giving you control of your own learning, but I have to model it first. So in the beginning, when I started Edpuzzle, all I did was I did everything. And then eventually I realized that I need to let them do it. And then they show me if they could do it or not. So this is what it will look like. I show them everything. It was like 4 or 5 examples on whatever it is, even if it's a reading passage. I did the passage completely, showing them how to go back and find the answer. Or, if in this case, math, I show them everything. Then in the We Do, it was chunked. I did a section and then they have to tell me what's next. And then I show them something else and they have to do something else. So little by little, I was giving away, the control of learning. And at the end is they do everything. Right? So it's as easy as just going to Edpuzzle.com. They create a teacher account. This is the first thing that they will see. They can go to YouTube, and I have no idea what video this is, so I'm just going to be recording on that. Or they can upload their own video. Again, I always say to upload their own video. So just I have no idea what this video is. So let's see.
Can be surprised.
It automatically pulls this is a phonics video. Whew, my goodness. So notice that this is pulled from YouTube. It's a link. We don't own the video. We're not uploading it. We're just streaming the video. You can make cuts. If you put the cursor in the middle, you can add a cut, so you can do cuts in the middle. If you upload your video, you can do a voiceover, but this is a YouTube video, so it's not available because that's copyrighted. But the good thing is here, it's in the questioning. I always recommend to start with a note. You tell them why they're learning about this video, what they're going to learn, and why this is important. Just give them the purpose of this. And most kids won't read if they're older. So you record the instructions so they are forced to listen to you. Especially the little ones, they can't read either. So you're able to record their lessons for you.
Nice little audio note. I love it.
Yeah. So once you save it, then let me say, let's just going to put whatever. You save, and it says you continue. You probably, oops, this needs to be in the beginning. All right. I'm here. A pause. I can do a multiple choice question. No, the math teachers get so excited about this. This is an equation builder. So you can do it here with your questions or your multiple choice. You can have images or GIFs, links. Here in the option choice and the option answer choices, you have the same options, but you also have feedback. So if they click this and this is the wrong one, you click here and you put the feedback here. Oh, you remember we watched this video, and then you put the link there, or you can put a GIF, like a try again kind of thing. But it's automatic. You select that this is the one that's correct, or you can add one more. It's up to you. Wow. You also have open-ended question, which this is where the rigor is. You give them a scenario, and then you can also allow the audio responses. So for the littles, you will put an audio note with your voice, and then you give them an open-ended question with the audio response on, and the little kid can just respond with audio. Or if you choose the multiple choice, then kids can pick on pictures. I used it with don't laugh, but it's like over, above, next to. So I'll put a lunchbox, have Mickey Mouse, and this was math. I'm like, where is Mickey Mouse? Is it next to the chair, behind the chair, under the chair? And I will show them the options, and the kid would just have to click because they don't know how to read.
Yeah.
So it's like for everybody, right? So once you have a question, you can add another one if you want in the same stop. This is like, I love it. It's amazing. Then once you finish, you can assign it directly here. We have multiple attempts. If you have multiple choice, which I don't think I added any, you have automatically at the end, the program will tell you, do you want to try again? And it will let you try it again. If you select 1, 2, 3, or unlimited multiple attempts. We have the prevent skipping, meaning that the video will be locked. They have to watch the whole thing. If they open a new tab, the video stops. And then closed caption that come from the YouTube. The analytics is like the best thing from here. You can see who watched it and who didn't, who turned it in, how you're going to organize your kids just by looking at this. It's very visual, very, very fast. If I click on Sarah it tells me that Sarah took 2 minutes in a 2-minute video. If Sarah takes 30 minutes in a 2-minute video, Sarah went somewhere and left the video playing.
Yes.
Right? It tells you something. Here it tells you that Sarah clicked on rewatch a section of the video. So she got it wrong because it's red, but you can tell Sarah, you tried. Thank you for that. Great job. Eventually, Sarah will be able to be successful, and then Sarah might be able to be pulled with students are not struggling. So again, this will tell you if Sarah is the student that always knows everything and got, I don't know, a 60, I'm like, Sarah, what's up with you? Like you don't know everything, because we all have students that they think they know everything. And this is a reality check that you don't need to tell them. It's just on their own. So it's great. It tells you all the answers here by student, if you want, or if you want here on the questions, it tells you that 1 student out of 18 got it right. So it also tells you something that you need to, take care of this. So there's multiple reports that you can have, but the one that you use the most, it's this one. We call it the stoplight report, because it's red, yellow, and green.
Red, yellow, green. Yeah.
Yeah. It tells you when and at what time. Because maybe if it's like at midnight, that's also a conversation like, what happened? Are you okay? It's like all these little things that tell you about your students. We have live mode if you want to do it live, like this, the teacher will project the video and the students will get the answer choices on their devices. So that way they don't feel ashamed. I saw it when I went to a school. The teacher was asking a question and everybody gets to participate, because when I was talking to the student, it's like, I never get called because I'll raise my hand and then we'll pick just one student. So this way everybody gets a chance to participate. And then she got it wrong because I saw it, and then she just put her computer down. Nobody shamed her. She didn't say it out loud, but she knew that was not the correct answer. So she's like, I just need to try better, try harder next time. But all these things are in place to teach students how to learn from a video, because sometimes adults don't know how to do that either.
No, sometimes we don't, but
it's great. It's very intuitive.
Yeah.
Very intuitive, I feel.
It's an interesting way to use YouTube. I mean, some parents are like, no more YouTube for you. It's bad for you. But now we're finding ways to let's utilize YouTube to, the kids are already interested in it. They already want to sneak it or watch it.
and in the US, we're the only edtech company that has the YouTube for educational player, meaning that if the school doesn't have YouTube open, they can still stream YouTube because it's embedded in Edpuzzle, and it doesn't give you any tracking on YouTube. There's no videos, no spam, no nothing. It's just the video. Which is great. Right now we only have it for the US, and then eventually YouTube will have it, outside the US, and then we'll probably have that too.
That's pretty cool. So what have you found then are the benefits of using video in the classroom, like the effectiveness of Edpuzzle?
Well, kids can see it and they can hear you multiple times. Teachers will tell me like, oh my gosh, I have to record myself. That's too much time. I'm saying, no. You don't understand. You are going to be doing this lesson anyways, and you're probably going to do it 8 times. So think about that. If you are in secondary and you have multiple periods, you do it either 6 times or 3 times, because you maybe have different subjects that you carry. And then it's not fair for the students, because that one time you're going to have like an awesome lesson. But then because you did it so many times in the day, the lesson is not the same. So you're not giving the same quality lesson to all of your students, which is not, the best thing. True. Right? So if you record yourself once doing it, you can put it in Edpuzzle, and then Edpuzzle will sift your students, and it will tell you who got it and who didn't, who's struggling and who kind of got it. And then based on that, you will pull your small groups, and you can differentiate that lesson with the kids you have in front of you. So the kids are green are going to get a very short lesson because they already told you, I already got it. I just need to make sure I know what I'm doing next, and how is the teacher going to push me to do better. Right? Then the yellow kids are like the bubble kids. It's going to be a little longer with more content because they're kind of struggling. The red kids, hot mess, that they need a lot of supports. And that lesson is going to be very different than the kids that you got on the green. Because if you teach to the middle of the class, you're gonna have kids who are acting out because they're bored or they're way above their head. So it really puts in a different perspective of how you're going to support your students where they're at, so you're not stressed at the end of the day. And it does it in a way that you don't really have to do anything. It's like you record the video, you put your questions, and then the program tells you how to better serve their needs, because it will tell you black and white. It's like who got it and who didn't.
Nice.
And they can always go back and watch it, because my students is like, oh, how do I do this? What did you say about this? What was the instructions? I'm like, I'm sorry, you need to go back and watch that video because it's in there.
It's all in there.
Because I'm busy with this group. You need to go over there and watch the video. Again, like the digital co-teacher, it's like you can split yourself into multiple teachers to go and support your students. Because maybe a student is in a previous lesson, because they can choose, like, you're not moving on until you have mastered this. I have seen teachers that they have more than one video on the same topic. So they're giving kids an opportunity to, like, maybe you didn't understand this example, that you can do it, with a different example. And then they're not moving to the next topic unless they have mastered this. And there was this one teacher in my old district. They have like 3 lessons. Like, kids can be within 3 lessons ahead or behind, and she was okay with it, because she was pulling small groups based on those lessons. So the kid who was behind didn't feel, rushed because the other kids were ahead, and she was not teaching everybody at the same time.
Yeah.
It takes some skill to do that, but this makes it a lot easier because you put the lessons there, and then you're coaching them to go to the next level when they're meeting with you, and you're moving them along by supporting those 5 kids that are struggling, rather than letting everybody know that they're struggling, because it just gives it a different feeling as a student. Like, you feel judged. So it just takes all of that away.
Wow. Sounds like there's a lot of different types of teachers that can benefit from it. The classroom teachers can make lots of lessons, so yes, they're making sure that they're giving the quality to all their periods. And I know I've been on the site, and there's some lessons that people made that anybody can access on there as well.
If you put them in an open class, you don't have to have an Edpuzzle account. Data still gets collected, and it gives you like a sample. Like, but I'm not gonna, like, me as a user, like the one watching the video, I cannot go back and watch it again, because it's an open. I'll have to start all over again, kind of thing, if I have the link. If you have a normal class, like I don't know what I call it, original class.
Original class. Yeah, let's call it an original class.
I should know these things. A traditional class. I'm looking to see what is a classic, a classic class. It will get saved into your student's profile, so it's easy for you to go back and revise it. But if it's an open class, it won't. You have to have the link for it, and then you have to take the lesson again, and then your data doesn't get recorded, but the one who created will have the data there.
Oh, that's cool.
Right? You can do it that way. I whenever I promote Edpuzzle and say, hey, for PD, because I've seen lots of EdTech coaches training in Edpuzzle about, I don't know, how to use OneNote, how to use Jamboard, how to use Autocrat. You're not teaching about Edpuzzle, but you're using Edpuzzle to teach something else. And they have attendance there because you know who did it and who didn't, the time. You can collect feedback by asking them questions, open-ended or whatever. There's also student projects, which is something that I did at the end. It's like, once you took my class about, I don't know, Google Sites or whatever, is record a video telling me how you create this, what are you going to do with this learning, and how are you going to push it to your students? I want to hear like your thought process in all of this. And they will put it into a student project, and then I have everything in one place. So that was like the best thing ever for PD. My principal used to record herself instead of going to those monthly staff meetings. She'll create a video, and then she knew who watched it and who didn't, who answered the questions. Because sometimes you're on your phone, and I said, Michelle, let's just do it on a video. Everybody hated me now because I'm like, man,
you took
Now they're accountable because you
Yeah.
cannot be on your phone anymore. It's like you
Yeah.
have to be doing that. Like expectations was also on videos. Oh, sub plans. You can also do it in an open class because the sub does not know your kids. They don't know exactly where you're at. But if the teacher records it and put it in an Edpuzzle, the students are still learning from you, and the sub is just facilitating all this learning. I've seen teachers do like meet the teacher. For little kids, it's like meet the classroom, and they will do videos, and then like stop it. Like, this is your library. This is what you will do in the library. This is how you shop for books. It's like lots of different ways. It's not just content wise. I've seen
Yeah.
teachers also like how in Edpuzzle you'll have an opportunity to listen to your kids. It's like, how are you doing today? Anything that you want to share with me? And then you will have an open-ended question with audio, and the kids can just reply to you and telling them how emotionally they are. If they can do it either in school or at home. I taught emotions in Edpuzzle. Like I have a cartoon, and I was just
Mhm.
like, look at their eyes, look at the tone, like pay attention to the tone of voice. Have you ever felt like this? And like
Hmm.
tell me about one time. So it also helps you to create a culture of, you know, a classroom culture. Like you're supported, I can hear you. Yes, it's about content, but there's ways that you can use this tool to take care of the whole child, not
That's
just.
yeah. Now, the big theme that I've seen so far with this summit of ours is gamification. It keeps coming up over and over again. In what ways do or can educators use Edpuzzle with gamification tactics?
Well, we use you can add links inside Edpuzzle. I've seen teachers use like a what is it called? It is like a choice board. That's what I'm
Hmm.
looking for. Because videos have a link, specific link that you can use. So you can link those into um like an image. I saw one teacher presenting about Edpuzzle doing a scavenger hunt. So the videos, the Edpuzzle videos were embedded into this image, and the video will give you a clue at the end, and then you have to put the word together. Because you remember when he says feedback,
Yeah.
you can put a picture in there, an image. So when the kids
Ah,
click on the correct answer, it will give you a letter. What this teacher did is they will give him a letter that will spell a word. That was a
that's
clue to go to the next one. So
that is a cool one.
it
Yeah,
can be. It's just like you have to think about how logistically you're going to be creating your lesson using the tools that we have.
that's really cool. One of my favorite things about Edpuzzle has been being part of the email list because I get uh, well every month, every couple, sometimes twice a month, sometimes more. If there's really cool holidays, I get different emails and saying, "Hey, have you seen this email, this lesson on Black History Month, or on Thanksgiving, or on X, Y,
Yeah.
Z?" And those have been so good for I teach English for teaching children about the culture and teaching them through those types of lessons. Can you tell us more about the Edpuzzle originals?
I was just going to share my screen. Yeah. So if you are inside the US, they're all free. It's right here. If outside the US, is only available for campuses or schools that are like in the pro version. But Edpost Originals, it's like a collection of pre-made videos with questions. Like our newest one, which I found out about this yesterday, is financial literacy. Just oh my god, I didn't even know this was here until yesterday.
I'm gonna have
So
to tell
look at
my
this.
kid.
I would have never been able to create something this beautiful. Like the questions already embedded, it's animated, it's made by our professional, curriculum specialists. So it walks you through this whole thing.
And discover how they work together to help us reach our financial goals.
You can make copies. You can assign it how it is, or you can make a copy, and then you can edit whatever you want. You want to change the questions or the opposite choices, but everything is done for you. It's already done. The other one what we had is digital citizenship. but you were talking about the holidays. Look at this. It is
So
insane the amount of
many,
holidays that we
so
have.
many. Where's peanut butter and jelly day?
Is there one? But it's so cool. Everything is in here. You also have, if you go to Edpuzzle Originals, which probably give you this link into the teacher lesson, or what do you call it? The lesson, the landing page for this
The
video.
landing page, yeah.
Yeah, I'll give you the link to this. So it explains what Edpuzzle Originals is, but if you scroll all the way to the bottom, it tells you what state are you in, and I am in Texas. So it tells me that in Texas, we don't use 𝒂𝒫 Core, we use 𝒑𝙤𝒊𝙨 because we do our own thing. And it gives you an alignment on the state standard, depending on the state that you're in. It gives it to you. So you can search by standard, which is like mind-blowing. So if I want to do, I don't know, like this one, it tells me that this is the video, the Edpuzzle original lesson that goes with that 𝒑𝒐. But if you're in a different state, that you just pick, I don't know, California, which is what I was. It tells you what they use. They use 𝒂𝒫 Core, and it's aligned with that. So this is like OMG. Amazing. So Edpuzzle Original is like, it really saves you time just by looking at all the things that we have here.
Those viewers that are not in the US, how would they access Edpuzzle Original?
Their school or their little groups of schools, they have to have the pro version.
Okay.
It's only available to pro schools outside the US.
Okay. And how does a school become a pro school?
They have to talk to sales reps.
Okay.
Yeah. If you email if you don't know, if you email support@edpuzzle.com, or if you go to the website, it tells you there, get a quote in the edpuzzle.com how to get in touch with someone that can help you with those things. But cool. I talk to teachers. That's usually not my expertise.
Yeah, you're the teacher, man.
I have no idea. I just say, like, look, this is how you do it. This is amazing. At Edpuzzle, we want teachers to use it. Let me share my screen again. So I'll show you one more thing. In your account, when you click on your name, you're going to have something that says more storage. For some reason, mine says invite teachers, but normally it says get more storage. So when you click on that, it gives you a code, and then with this code, which I believe you're going to give your code, whatever code you want.
We'll put Manny's code and my code, whatever, down below here, so you'll have an access and you can see what you need.
When someone enrolls with a free account, it gives them 3 more videos to them and 3 more videos to me. So we're trying to benefit the both parties. So if for example, if you use my code, then you're going to be getting 3 videos and not get 3 videos. And then you share your code again with someone else, you'll get 3 more videos, which you already got 3 plus 3, you'll get 6 videos for free. And we just want teachers to use it, because eventually you're going to love it so much, because you will. Then it's an easier way for you to say, I need this school-wide. And then once the teacher or the principal says, oh my gosh, all these teachers are using it, it's more likely for them to say, like, that's fine, let's pay for this. But this is how we want teachers to feel free that you can use it and it's safe, because we just get more storage and more storage.
Very cool. Yeah, that's an excellent way of increasing storage. Both parties get extra storage, and both schools, if you're from different schools or the same school, you keep growing the storage and the amount of lessons that you can make. It's amazing.
Yeah, because when we talk to admins, because when I was an EdTech coach and we were trying to get something, it's like, I'll buy it. I just need to know that the teachers will use it, because we don't want to buy something that teachers won't use. So this is why it's like, feel free to use it, because some of my teachers says, like, I don't want to learn something that I'm going to love, but then I'm not going to be able to use. So we come up with this way to give you more storage, just bring us more people, right? Like, tell your friends about it. And it's all free, but eventually you're going to run out of space. So this is how you can get more space.
Yes. Well, I think you've done a great job of inspiring people. People are probably itching right now to like go sign up, get their own videos started. Where do you think that they should start? Like something really simple. If they create a video, can they delete the video and start again and keep their space, or how does that all work?
Well, okay, so let me share my screen again. Once you create your account, um, or we have courses, which I'll give you the video, the link to this. We have these certifications. We walk you through everything. Like level 1 is how do you open an account? We have that. Just make sure you have a code if you want to use a code to get more storage. But then if you have an LMS like Classroom, Canvas, or Schoology, it's different how you assign a video. So we have level 1 with that LMS, and it shows you how you're going to assign that lesson. Then after you know how to create an account, edit a video, and assign a video, you're going to go and do level 2, which is the same thing. How to edit a video and how to, but more in depth. How to design a lesson, again, more in depth. And then after that, we have coach, which is where I'm at. This is the community that I manage. And, I make you feel all kinds of things by talking to me and having little conversations on Facebook. We have a closed group. But we walk you through everything just so you don't feel like lost. We also have boot camps online in where I'm walking you through the certification. I don't do it, you do it, but I'm telling you how, where to click, and in case you get all lost and get all jiggity, I'm there to help you out. Because we have
Yeah.
teachers that are like, I don't know how to do this. I'm like, so we do it live with them. We have lots and lots of people that come.
Oh yeah,
And I'm
to
just
give people an idea, I went to one of his boot camps online. It was a live YouTube presentation, and it's great. They walk you through step by step how to get into your new account. You have to have a student account. What code to type in, and if you can't find that code, they work with you on that. Manny did a great job. It was him and his team. His team chat,
yeah,
and then him
yeah, we had 2
talking.
people. It was a lot of
Um,
people.
yeah. And so people are able to do it at their own pace, and he's always available for questions while you're doing it on the side. It's an excellent setup for those that just need that little bit of extra from Manny and the team.
Yep,
So,
and that's the thing. Like, we want to give them the experience of Edpuzzle. That's why our certifications are in Edpuzzle, because you are going to feel like you're the student, and you'll see, oh, this is what my students will go through. So and you see like the options, like, oh, this is what a question looks like. This is the anticipation because it's coming. It's great because teachers get a sense of the feel of going through a lesson. But that's why this is like the best thing ever, doing it in Edpuzzle.
that's very cool. Do you have any kind of showcase that you want to show of any kind of lessons, or create something, show people how easy it is before we take off for the day?
I have like a list of examples that I can share. Let me
Yeah.
see. It is, again, let's show my screen again. So this is an open, you can see that this is an open class. This is my elementary examples. This is mostly, they're all my videos that I used when I was a teacher.
Mhm.
So I'll share this I'll give you the link to this, but it shows them that, like, for example, this is my how to teach emotions. It's an 8-second video that I give a note. At the beginning, I always add the note to explain what is it. Well, this is for teachers, tell them what are they learning about. You can, I didn't share the audio, but just know that it's 8 seconds, and I have this question with a note about how they feel. This is and that. Tell me your feelings, kind of thing.
Mhm.
We're working on getting more playlists like this with more content, but this is like for elementary. It's just, I just suggest start with finding videos on YouTube, finding videos that you made if you want to embark in that, and just add questions. That is like the safest way to start. Then later on, worry about the I do, you do, program that, how to design the lesson. That's going to come later. But just start. just start. That's just because otherwise, if you think too much about it, you're never gonna do it. Do it.
That's true. A lot of us have that. We overthink it and then we never do it type mentality. That's really, yeah. So, all right. Well, you've shown us a lot of really cool things about Edpuzzle today. I love your classes. I love your attitude. It's awesome. I'm sure your students love it.
Yeah, my students at the beginning, they were like, I don't like this. You're making me work. I'm like, I love it. Because that's right. The one who does the talking does the work, right? So I want them to be the one consuming by watching a video, and I have them do, I had a dry erase or a journal, and they have to take notes. Or they need to give me an illustration of how they were learning, because I don't want them to be also just passively watching a video responding to questions. I want them to like create something as they're doing it. Like if it was math, like I need you to start doing it in your dry erase or on the table or on paper. Like you are working, honey. It's not just me. So at the end, they were tired.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, do you have any parting advice or anything else that you want to share before we take off for today?
I really encourage teachers to record their videos, like, because parents will hear the vocabulary that you're using and how you're teaching. My school district does math very particular way that when I taught math and the way my son is being taught math, it's not the same anymore.
Right.
So I'm like, I don't know how to help you because I don't have a video, right? So it's like, if you record your lesson into how to do it, you even get a buy-in from the parents to help you and support you because they know how. And you're giving the option for the students to watch you again. And you're going to do it anyways. It's just like teaching. There's no take 2 or 3. Just record it. Don't it's for your kids. Just, yeah. I mean, people get shy. I'm like, really? Have you seen my videos? It's a hot mess. And the whole world watches my videos, which is like, I don't care. It's about giving and conveying a message for teachers or for students. And that to me is more valuable than just being shy. So I just do it for your kids.
I love it.
That's why I always say teachers get shy. It's like, just do it for your kids. It's a lot. There's more benefits than not.
All right. Well, you heard it, everybody. Manny says, just do it. Let's
right.
get it done. Don't be shy.
I have spoken.
So, but if anybody needs to get in touch with Manny, join one of his groups on Facebook. We'll have some of them linked down below, as well as the information on how to get started with Edpuzzle and get your own accounts going. But yeah, thank you very much for your time today, Manny. It's been a pleasure. I'm sure everybody has been inspired as much as I have. I'm ready to start making some more videos myself.
Yeah, love it.
All right. Thank you very much.
We'll see you around.
You're welcome. Thank you very much, everybody.